Greetings, my friends. I have a lot of news to tell you today for all three games that I cover and care about. We begin with the big news for Mass Effect Andromeda this week. Patch 1.06 was released live with a ton of updates. No new content, no new story content though, but Bioware did their best to fix a lot of things based primarily on player feedback and complaints. More than half of the patch is about multiplayer. That's unfortunately something I personally don't care too much about, but there are a ton of fixes and improvements for single player as well. Together with this patch, we also received the bad but also expected news, I think. The fact that the creator studio Bioware Montreal is actually being split by EA, and the remaining people working still at Bioware Montreal are turned into a support studio, according to the big mass media portals such as IGN and Kotaku and all the others. While the rest of the people from that studio are actually joining other EA studio projects, such as the recently announced IP called Dylan, I believe. That's a brand new game Bioware is working for the next or probably 2019 year. Still very much unknown. And as well, of course, Battlefront 2, which is coming this winter. This is expected, I said a moment ago, because this might actually be just the normal result of a studio being sized down or scaled down after a game has been released. Obviously, you don't need the same amount and capacity of people working on the game after it's already been released. However, the way these mass media portals announced it sounds bad to me, and I really hope that they're just creating more drama than is needed. For more information, there are a couple of links, as well as that video, of course, that you're watching on the background. I'll tell you more about the videos from me for this past week at the end of the video of this Weekly Roundup show. There are a couple of links here. Obviously, the first one contains the full patch notes for update 106, and the second one is my news report on what EA is doing to the Mass Effect games and franchise overall. Moving on to Star Wars The Old Republic's big topics from this week. This is not official news confirmed by BioWare, as in BioWare working on weapon outfits for the outfit designer, but it is based on what Charles Boyd mentioned on the forums twice in the last week. We've been discussing this one a lot lately, and we're working on how we could fit it into the schedule for this year. Once we have it confirmed, we'll let you all know. So this isn't appearing in the next patch or the one after that. Maybe it will. I'm actually not really certain why is this such a complicated thing to implement into the game. They managed to do it with everything else. The appearance for all of the clothes and armor pieces actually works very nicely in the game. Why not weapons as well? What exactly is the technical issue there? Down below, I have another quote from him as well. Honestly, it comes down to priorities. So in the past year and before that, unfortunately, they focused very heavily on the 2 story expansions with the 25 story chapters, Fallen Empire and Eternal Throne. And that's what I mean by priorities. For this year, they're focusing more on, let's see, where is it? For this year, we've shifted some of our focus to broader features that improve the overall gameplay experience and add better customization and convenience options. I understand it as we're working on more quality of life changes. This is a very old video that you would see at the bottom of the article of me introducing the brand new outfit designer that launched in early 2015 with patch 3.2. The next big topic with news update for SWTOR is that the Cartel pack's loot will change with the next Steadfast Champion pack arriving, I believe, on Tuesday 16th. Yes, it actually says it here. Currently, the packs drop 2 items, which can be new or old, and or Grand Cube, and 2 miscellaneous scrap. With this pack, BioWare is improving a little bit the quality of the Cartel packs because 1 new item will always be present. New item, they mean by new from this shipment, will always be present in each one of the Cartel packs, and 1 Grand Chance Cube, as well as 2 of the same miscellaneous scrap items that, if you care about decorations, probably you would enjoy opening those. I personally don't. Down below in the article, there is a little bit of a quote from the forums as to why exactly are these changes being made, and they state that they are perfectly aware of how this may impact the pricing for the silver items in collections, and they're considering changing some things. Because I'm quoting some of my articles, all of the links you can find down below in the video description and in one of the comments. If you're using a mobile device, you can't click on links in the video description, I believe, yet, unless YouTube changed that already somehow. So look for one of the top comments under the video to check out all of the news updates. Star Wars The Old Republic roadmap update, and the more interesting part was patch 5.2.2. Wow, a lot of good things Bioware is planning for this next patch. It would appear that Keith, yes, I've pronounced the name correctly this time, Keith is planning a very big and detailed roadmap this time, as opposed to what Ben Irving was doing in the past couple of years. I can't remember how long he was here, taking that post of game producer, excuse me. So these are the changes, and I've discussed them in more details in the video that we'll see attached here at the bottom of the article as well. So I'm not going over all of them again, but let's just mention that we've got the Narshada Casino event returning for all of those of you guys who enjoyed it the previous time it was here. This thing is kind of really promising. Group Finder mobile application for Android currently, probably in the future for Apple as well, but right now it's only available in English and French for Android, and there is a French version for your web browser if you want to use it on your PC. The developer is currently actively working for English version of the web browser, and I have an article which you're looking at the moment with a very detailed overview video at the very bottom. The article is focused more on the technical part. What are the permissions that the app requires? Because that's the most scary part for every person ever touching Android apps. What do they require? How much Google is spying on you? What Google needs to know about me? And things like that. The video actually takes you through every single screen and feature the app has to offer. Obviously, if you're watching this a little bit later, there might be new features because the developer is just one person, but he seems to be very eager to keep updating and introducing new things as the community demands for them. This app is brand new, it exists for a very short time, and it needs to be tested from more people because there are bugs here and there are issues, some things don't work properly. Other things haven't been finished or implemented fully yet for the English version at least. They may exist in the French version already. Other things like that. And let's jump into the Gwent segment. The closed beta registration is ending this weekend, which means if you're watching this video, on Monday, the registrations have already been closed. But the good news is that the closed beta on its own is actually about to end very soon. We still don't have exact details as to when CD Projekt Red are finishing the closed beta, but very shortly after that, or probably even immediately after that, the open beta stage will begin. And we actually had very, very entertaining and more than 10 hours long live event organized by CD Projekt Red this weekend. Yesterday, 10 hours. That means it started 4 o'clock in the afternoon for me, and it kept me in front of the TV for 10 hours all the way until 2 in the morning. Life Coach wins the first Gwent Challenger tournament, which had a total grand prize of 100,000 US dollars. There was a lot of drama with a lot of interesting moments from every single match that the tournament offered. You can see here in the attached screenshots that we've got quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals with Life Coach, which was, I think, at least in my mind, he was the expected winner because he is a pro. We had 4 Gwent community players, the top 4 community players from qualifying rounds before that, and top 4 pro players. Some of them were not exactly Gwent players, but hey, who cares? They all came here for fun and obviously to get paid. Life Coach is a pro, but he's been playing Gwent very actively, and he is by far one of the best card collecting games player. Plus, he's an ex-professional poker player, That's where he made all his money, from what I've been reading on Wikipedia and other internet sources. So he doesn't really care how much he's going to win on this tournament. He's just doing this for fun. Basically, this is a 10 hours event split into two parts in two videos, which of course I've uploaded and attached here. No, wait, sorry. CD Projekt Red uploaded them and I've just attached the videos here at the bottom of the article. Why two parts? Because the stream cut out around the 7th or 8th hour for a few minutes. Nobody knows why. I didn't actually even bother to minimize the picture on my TV and read the chat of what's happening. I don't care. The stream resumed a little bit later, and probably that's why we see two parts now. The epic final was 5 games between Noxious from Canada and Life Coach from Germany. Really epic game with a little bit of luck and a lot of personal skills. I've enjoyed that tournament so much that I might actually start playing Gwent more than I was already doing it. The last segment for the week, so I will try to wrap it up, is the video segment where I would show you all the videos that I've produced for these past 7 days since the last weekly roundup. We've got the news about Star Wars The Old Republic 5.2.2, the highlights actually, which you've already seen in a previous article attached, as well as the SWTOR Group Finder mobile app, which I've discussed just merely 2 minutes ago, and the first news that I opened the weekly roundup show with, the news about Mass Effect Andromeda's newest patch and the studio being split by EA. The two live streams that I haven't covered yet and I haven't talked about are first one from 3 days ago, I think it was on Wednesday. We did several flashpoints with friends of mine, and I've had a lot of fun in that event, as well as last Sunday, which was the reason why I had to delay the previous weekly roundup show and reschedule it for Monday. And this is something really, really special here. The video from a couple of days ago, Star Wars The Old Republic's Terror from Beyond and Dread Palace Story mode runs. I played with my Sentinel, which I don't get to do a lot lately because it's hard to find the pug as a melee DPS. Plus, I'm not really trying that hard. And I played with friends, subscribers, and my patrons. That was a semi-organized event in the couple days before that. And I'm glad that pretty much we managed to fill in 7 slots from 8 for the full team run, which was really nice. I had a ton of fun. I managed to do 2 operations that I hadn't done in months. And even though I've done these in the previous level caps, 55, 60, 65, probably tens of times, hundreds of times, I don't know. It was still fun because every time you play with different people, every time you experiment with different things, with different builds, different setups, I've managed to gain a huge chunk of Galactic Command ranks. I must say the 5.0 disaster of Galactic Command is almost entirely erased by the way the game rewards you now for your performance and for the things you do in Star Wars The Old Republic. Very last announcement, probably this coming week or maybe the next one, depending on how things at my real life work. I work for the real life. Yeah, that's how I actually feed myself and manage to live. So if things pick up, I may decide to delay for this week or the next after that my long being postponed Witcher 3 second expansion walkthrough Blood and Wine. That is in that March New Game Plus, of course. Thank you guys for enjoying me for this weekly roundup show. I hope you had fun for this, holy crap, 15 minutes. I don't think I have anything to cut out from this episode. It was packed with news. There is a lot more from my website specifically because you're watching how many videos I've produced. I haven't hidden any video from you today. I have a lot more news updates and other things on my website for you to check out if you're interested, of course. And with that said, let me know what you think about the biggest topics from the episode. What do you think about Mass Effect Andromeda's new patch and the news about it? What do you think about the preview for 5.2.2? That's the door of the terrace slamming from the wind. And have you tried already the mobile application for SWTOR Group Finder? See you next time. Bye-bye.